Welcome back to Terror by the Bay. I'm David. Okay, so I'm recording this at 7:45 Pacific time on Wednesday, December 3rd. Mike Johnson's having a hard time, just when Pete Hegseth seems to get all the short ends of the stick. Mike Johnson says, "Here, hold my lemon drop. I've got one for you." Okay, so one of them, Representative Elise Stefanik, has been feuding with Mike Johnson and saying basically he doesn't have the votes. If he were to be brought up for House Speaker again, he wouldn't be cast as House Speaker. She's feuding with him because of a provision related to FBI probes of political candidates that she claims the House Speaker blocked from inclusion in the National Defense Authorization Act, the NDAA. This goes back a little bit. Stefanik gave up her role as the House Republican Conference chair when Trump picked her to be his UN ambassador, but her nomination was ultimately pulled. Stefanik reportedly blamed Johnson for delaying and ultimately killing her nomination to keep his narrow GOP House majority from further dwindling. Johnson's denied this. He then gave her a largely symbolic role as chair of the House GOP leadership. Huzzah. I guess Stefanik was really looking forward to being the UN ambassador. Okay, so with this National Defense Authorization Act, she wanted a provision put in. And her provision would require the FBI to notify Congress when opening a counterintelligence investigation into candidates for federal office. Stefanik, who's backed every other defense and intelligence authorization bill, contends that the Russia investigation and special counsel Jack Smith's probe into Trump are politically motivated. I would say I disagree with you, Elise. And now if you think that including this counterintelligence notification to Congress would be a good thing, I'm inclined to disagree with you because your motivations are shite. She's now threatening to tank the NDAA over the omission of her provision. Johnson can only lose 2 GOP members on a party line vote, so her opposition could be perilous. What happened? I'm reading this from an Axios article. Stefanik accused Johnson of getting rolled by the Democrats after Jamie Raskin, the top Democrat on the House Judiciary Committee, succeeded in stripping this provision. If Republicans can't deliver accountability and legislative fixes to arguably the biggest illegal corruption and government weaponization issue of all time, then what are we doing? Stefanik wrote. Really, Elise? Really? So covering up the Epstein files and everything Trump's doing with the weaponization of government isn't the biggest illegal corruption and government weaponization we've ever seen? It was always the Russia probe? God, I'm such an idiot. She later said that her claims are confirmed that Johnson is siding with Jamie Raskin against Trump Republicans. Johnson pushed back. I don't know why Elise won't just call me. I texted her last night and said I'd help her figure out what happened. He said he supports her provision, but argued that it was removed because the 2 chairs and the 2 ranking members in both chambers did not agree with it. Doesn't mean it can't become law. I had nothing to do with it, so I don't know why she's frustrated. Stefanik wrote back saying this is his preferred tactic to tell members when he gets caught torpedoing the Republican agenda. Wow, let's have some high school drama, shall we? So that's one of the things that's hurting Mike Johnson. Sorry, that was a long story, but this one hasn't been out in the news, so I'm only learning about it. I'm assuming you are too. The other one is Congresswoman Luna. Let's see, what's her? I'm gonna get her full name. Anna Paulina Luna of Florida kicked off a drive to have a discharge petition to force votes in the House of Representatives on a bipartisan bill that will prevent insider stock trading or trading of individual stocks by House members. It currently is a bipartisan bill with more than 100 co-sponsors. Johnson has not been bringing this to the floor. So Luna brought her discharge petition out there and now wants to she needs the 218 people to sign it so that they can bypass Johnson so that they can have a vote on this. If this goes through, this will be that second petition that goes through. The other one was the Epstein files. And that's going to be an embarrassment to Johnson because what it's showing is that Republicans are not lining up behind Johnson, who's lining up behind Trump, which is what makes the whole Stefanik thing look weird because she's even lining up more behind Trump. And maybe Johnson's being right. He can't really do much about what's going on, but he's going to get blamed for it anyways. Again, with this this insider trading, basically individual stock trading in the House, it would explain how House members who make about $180,000 a year suddenly, they're in Congress for 5 years and they leave with $20 million. I don't know about you, but I can't make that math work, no matter what I do. So Congress has been enriching themselves for a while, and the Republicans and Democrats are lining up. It's almost like you're getting some bipartisan work together to fight corruption. Be still, my beating heart. Anyways, Mike Johnson's having a lousy day. Let's take a look at both Stefanik and Miss Luna and see how things are going for Mike Johnson. No, things aren't looking good for Hegseth. Again, Mike Johnson's having a pretty bad day as well. Come on down. This is for entertainment purposes only. Let's take a look at the energy around Mike Johnson in general. The world card. The walls are closing in around him. And it's getting worse. He's coming to an end of a cycle, and it just keeps coming. The Chariot. He's losing control of the situation. I think what this is saying is more and more people are going to be going around him to get things done. And that's the part where it makes Johnson look really weak. When your own party, which you only have like a 3 or 4 party member advantage, they're going around you. They're working with other party members to get legislation through that you're blocking. That's not a good look. That's literally like the substitute teacher who's lost control of the classroom, except Mike Johnson isn't the substitute teacher. He's the teacher that's lost control of the classroom. It's only unfortunate Marjorie Taylor Greene isn't there to dig the last knives into this guy's back, because that's where she wants to be with this one. In the past, the Sun card, they found out who Mike Johnson was. By the way, 4 major arcana out of 4 cards so far. Mike Johnson is exposed. They now know who this guy is. 5. Make it 5 for 5. Current situation is the Temperance. The toxicity between the houses is going down, but the toxicity towards him is going up. And he has no control over... He's lost his ability to take down the temperature and detoxify things. Why? Because nobody trusts him. They don't trust him anymore. He doesn't have their back. Just like Trump doesn't have their back. These are Congress people that are fed up. And they're going to get their digs in before they go. A lot of them are retiring, so they can burn some bridges. Overarching energy. Well, we are so far 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for 6 with major arcana. The Lover's card. Nothing brings people together quite like finding a mutual scapegoat that everybody can enjoy kicking. I'm not going to hold my hopes out that this is the thing that brings, Democrats and Republicans together and the lion lays down with the sheep and, dogs and cats lay together, real Armageddon stuff type thing. But it's encouraging to see some bipartisan work in Congress. And I don't know what's driving it. I really don't. Maybe they just don't like pedos and they don't like people who cheat and insider trade. You know, if that's where rock bottom is, I'll take it at this point. This is what Congress used to be able to do before it got so polarized. The lesson to be, and I honestly think with Mike Johnson, what this is saying, his honeymoon's over. His honeymoon is long over. And now, he came in to do the hard work, and he can't do the hard work. He cannot get stuff done. And people are making his job even harder. And it's going to continue. This actually has Johnson looking over his shoulder. So we finally get out of the major arcana to the minor arcana, and we get the 10 of wands and the 9 of wands. His job is incredibly difficult, and it's not getting any easier because the next thing is coming down the pike, whatever that is. And that could very well be the vote of no confidence that removes him. He is in a thankless place. And you know who's not going to stand up for him? Trump. The one guy he's bent over backwards for, to accommodate, to help out, to obfuscate for, everything along those lines. All these different big words that we use in college. Trump ain't going to help him even a little bit. Nope. I'm sorry, is that the M-line bus? You need to go catch it. Nothing like a cold brew at 8 o'clock at night before you go to bed, right? And yes, I am drinking a coffee. I am drinking a cold brew. It is 8 o'clock at night. Caffeine really doesn't impact me like that. Now watch me say that, and then tonight I'm like, oh my. You'll know if I'm responding to comments. All right. Miss Stefanik is really upset with Mike Johnson. How's the energy between Elise Stefanik and Mike Johnson going? Let's do it from Elise Stefanik's perspective. Even though this is the Mike Johnson reading, let's just take a look. My deck is upside down. Sorry. Ace of Swords. She's got a bone to pick with him. Oh, she's on a crusade with this guy, and that's one of the things he's worried about. She's a leader in the Republican Party and has been a leader in the Republican House Party for a while. Remember, she's the one that got put in the number 3 position after they chased Liz Cheney out of there. Okay, so she's a Trumper through and through, and she's been a high-ranking member in the House for a while, and she's out for blood with this guy. She may be cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs when it comes to Trump derangement syndrome, but I think the problem here is that Johnson has no integrity. The Republicans used to close ranks really well, and any disagreements they kept behind closed doors. Nobody ever saw daylight between members of the House in the Republican Party. Beau of the Fifth Column used to repeat that like a mantra, and it obviously works. I remember that, but Johnson's destroyed that because he has no integrity, so he torpedoes things. Again, just like the other reading, the Sun card, he has been discovered. I don't doubt that he torpedoed her UN ambassadorship because he wanted to keep control of the House to advance Trump's agenda. But she really wanted that position. She really wanted that position. Currently, they're at a crossroads here, and she's playing for blood. They both play for blood, but this is a winner-takes-all game. There's no compromise in here. It's funny. One of the things I had heard, it wasn't in this article, Johnson said, I had a long talk with her last night about things. And then literally that next day, a reporter came up to Johnson. So let's say they talked on Monday night. Then Tuesday, a reporter comes up to Johnson and says, Stefanik says that you don't have the votes. You should step down. Obviously that talk you had with her the night before didn't go very well. Because if the next day she's still pissed and she wants your butt out of your position, that talk didn't go well, right? And if you didn't realize the talk didn't go well and you thought it did, then you're the idiot in this situation. Anybody who's had that discussion with a spouse or a girlfriend or a boyfriend or whatever, you know what I'm talking about. I thought when my wife said fine, that she was fine with it. But it sounded like she was fine with it. Dummy. Lesson to be learned is the Ace of Pentacles. She's got leverage. She's got a crusade and she's got leverage and she's taking full advantage of this leverage. She wanted that position. She wanted that UN ambassador position, something fierce. And she's going to take the opportunity to make his life miserable. Outcome is the Knight of Pentacles. She's going to expect him to come up and make things better. This is not her making things better. This is going to be him making things better. And then, again, when you've got these two cards, that's going to tie in with Miss Luna and her stock trading thing here. I'm trying to think. As votes, support, money, wealth, values. I think she's also sending a values message to whoever is the next House Speaker. That, you want her valuable contribution to your campaign or to your speakership, then you better get me on board with you. Oh God. So yeah, Miss Stefanik is not happy. I'm wondering if just because tying with Luna, I wonder if there was a financial opportunity that she missed out on. Either fundraising, campaign, PAC money, or insider trading of stocks. I don't know. There could be a financial component to that too. But long and short, she ain't happy. And if that mom ain't happy, Mike Johnson ain't going to be happy. All right, Miss Luna. She's got her bill going forward here. Will she get enough signatures on this discharge petition to basically override Mike Johnson's stonewalling of this bill? Oh, jeez. The lesson to be learned is now here. And notice I made that connection. Yeah, she's got the push that she needs to get this thing through. The challenge is Mike Johnson himself. He's the one who's been blocking it. He could undo it by just getting it through, and then Mike Johnson can save face by just letting it go through. But if he fights it, he's going to lose, and it's going to look bad on him because it looks like he's protecting wealthy people. And right now, that whole, American Revolution 2.0 that MAGA was all chuffed about last year. And I think we were saying, no, it's going to be more like a French Revolution. This is more like a French Revolution. And in the French Revolution, you don't want to be hanging around with the wealthy and the nobility when the guillotines get busted out. But that's what it looks like Johnson is doing here. He's siding with the money. And he's trying to protect it. But he's also trying to protect his reputation and things along those lines. Protect his ability to make money and other people's ability to make money. In the past, you got the Ten of Wands, just like this card over here. His job is difficult. Off of the general reading here that we had, where we had the Ten of Wands and the Nine of Wands. His job is being made difficult. Johnson's being asked to do a lot. And I don't know why he's bearing this burden, but somebody's telling him or requiring him to bear this burden. Current situation is the Nine of Cups. He's supposed to be the House Speaker in charge of everybody, and the Republicans, again, are all supposed to line up. He's the teacher who's lost control of the classroom. And now you've got students who've got the classroom rallied behind him. Thomas Massey was one, and Miss Luna's probably going to be the second. Oh, wow, there's a corruption here. Yeah, he doesn't want to do this. This is either it's his main way of making money, or, and I think that's what we're talking about here, he makes money. And remember, he sends all his money to a church so that how much money he's making is being hidden. It's not obvious. It's not transparent. He's doing this for corrupt reasons. Absolutely doing this for corrupt reasons. Entertainment purposes only. I'm just a fool reading tarot cards. I have no inside information. I couldn't testify in a court of law because it wouldn't stand up. Lesson to be learned is the Knight of Cups. He may try to reach out to Miss Luna to stop this discharge petition. I don't think it's going to work, though. I don't think it's going to work. Queen of Pentacles. Yeah, because I was hitting that French Revolution thing about you don't want to side with the wealthy people. Right now, people are starting to struggle with jobs and finances and things along those lines. If they find, the Great Gatsby parties going on involve their congressmen, and the congressmen are purposely getting themselves wealthy off of insider trading while other people struggle, bad look. This should be Johnson saying, okay, let's get this thing through common sense legislation. Johnson actually has an opportunity to do this. I don't think he's going to take it. And I also want to point out that Miss Luna isn't exactly some lefty, moderate Republican. She is, full on MAGA. And I keep saying, and her last name is Luna, and I just keep trying to not call her Laura Loomer. But, cut from the same cloth type of person like Laura Loomer. She's kind of like the weird version of Marjorie Taylor Greene, if you will. Will this discharge petition get enough votes to bypass Mike Johnson? Chip Roy of Texas says the clock's now running. If leadership does not move quickly to put forward a strong ban on congressional stock trading, the members of the body will act. Okay, so let's ask this question first. And that's where that Knight of Cups probably comes in. Will Mike Johnson put forward what Chip Roy would refer to as a strong ban on congressional stock trading? Chip Roy is also a sponsor of the bill. And Democratic Representative Seth Magaziner of Rhode Island is a co-sponsor. Both said that in a statement. Okay. All right. Will Johnson put out a strong bill to stop this? Two of Wands. He's thinking about it. Let's not be so hasty. We should look into... I'm starting to sound like Cash Peters. We should look into this. Let's not all be hasty, There's lots of different ways to do things, but he's been outed. He needs a victory. He's got a choice to make. He will offer to do something, but he's just trying to calm things down. He needs a victory over the House, and he needs something to quell the riots. He may offer him something to calm him down, but again, they know this guy for who he is, and there's a decision to be made. If he offers it, they may take. I don't think they'll take it. Honestly, I just don't think they'll take it. He's trying to buy time. But the time might be him being removed from office. Two of Wands. There's almost like a feeling like he's gonna leave too. God, you got Hegseth and Johnson leaving. You've got Trump leaving. Uh, it just feels like this whole administration is about to tumble and crash like a deck of cards in the wind. Okay, let's look at it. That's a different question I was asked before. Does this discharge petition go through? Does Laura Loomer, does Miss Luna's discharge petition go through? Does it get passed? Ten of Wands, hard burden, Page of Wands, King of Pentacles, Four of Coins. Wow. It's going to take some work because the big money comes in and they want to keep their big money. And it's almost like with that Page of Wands, it's like, well, now we need to talk about how we're going to do this. It's almost as if, like there's a delay. This is the same card that came out with Johnson. It's hard to stay on top of things. It doesn't look like a yes. I thought for sure this was going to be a slam dunk yes, but it looks like it's like they can't get. It doesn't make sense because to me, yeah, they've got this because Trump isn't fighting. It's not like they're protecting Trump. And if you got 100 co-sponsors on this thing and it's being brought up by a Republican, there's probably a lot of Republicans on here. So I have a hard time believing it's not a yes. So let's take a look at this. If it is a yes, it's going to make things very difficult on those who've been profiting, because they want to hold on to their money. So it's almost like if, how do you enact it? I guess the problem, maybe the burden is, it's one thing to have the vote, but this might be one of those things that they tried to do with the Epstein files that, that didn't go through. It's like it's having a hard time getting out of committee. And then it goes to the Senate, and then it gets kicked back, and it ping-pongs back and forth. I think there's something to that. It's almost like there's going to be a delay in it. So this might be something that, okay, so it passes the House, and it goes to the Senate, and then the Senate makes some changes to it, and votes on it, sends it back to the House, and then the House has to vote on it, send it back to the Senate, because they haven't made enough money yet. So it's kind of like, the folks in Congress where they can see where things are going and they're running out of time to make money, want to maximize as much money in insider trading as they can do before they can't do it anymore. And it could be that if the economy gets difficult, then if they're leveraged, it can make them lose money. But if the economy gets difficult, then it's kind of like you can make a lot of money on there. There's something with this in money that it just looks like they're going to delay it. They're going to make things difficult on it. And I think it's because the people that have made a lot of money they're scooping it all up with both hands as fast as they can, and they'll delay this thing from going through. It'll go through like by 2026 so that the new Congress coming in doesn't get to benefit from what the current Congress has. Basically pulling up the ladder behind them. That's the vibe I'm getting with it. So I think it goes through. The discharge position will work, but then it'll probably go back and forth because of greed before it finally gets signed. This is a long reading. I'm sorry. Any other news so Mike Johnson's he's getting it from both ends, but apparently it's worse with Elise Stefanik. For Carter, anything else we need to know from the 30,000 foot level regarding Mike Johnson with all the challenges he's currently facing? Ace of Swords, just like Elise Stefanik. People are coming after him. Whistleblowers are coming. People are talking. 3 pages. There's change. Yeah, they're going to boot him. They're going to boot him. Whether this might be the Epstein file stuff, the young girls, the actions taken, the money, but there's all this youthful energy, all this messaging coming underneath here, and then there's Johnson being welcomed in or kicked out, and everything right now looks like he's being kicked out. He's getting it on all fronts. It may not be. This may be nascent. These 3 pages. It's not. They're not kings or queens, but it's like the word's out. It's like the word is out. So the countdown has started. The clock is ticking. It's not imminent, but all the talk is there that he has to go, and it could just be that that's the new Congress coming in. All the freshman, junior Congress people next year are coming in, and they're going to undo all the stuff that Johnson has been supporting in his time as House Speaker. So a little bit of hope for the future, I suppose. Thank you very much for watching this video and supporting my channel. I appreciate it. This reading is for entertainment purposes only, but I hope you found it insightful, and I'll catch you on the next video. Take care.